Where are we today, Phil?
Still up on the Hoe. We've moved from Fisher's Nose to the point here, Henry VIII's Tower, by the Royal Corinthian Yacht Club. This, in the days of the Civil War, stood alone. The foreshore came gently down and that tower stood out alone on the foreshore. If you look at the old maps, it shows you Henry VIII's Tower standing alone. And I've got a good example of it here on this map showing Plymouth Fort. Wherever it is. There it is. See? That's Henry VIII's Tower as it stood in the time of the Civil War.
Which is this one here?
This one here. And you can see it goes down from the fort.
There it is on the map.
Yep, Fisher's Nose would be over here.
There it is for real.
Yeah, and you can see from these guns along the front how it worked. You had guns in between each tower along the foreshore. So right where, roughly where we are stood, and further down over there were a bit of wooden palisades and large numbers of heavy guns to protect the foreshore.
So it wasn't just the blockhouses?
No.
They
were connected. This is in the time of Henry VIII. He was the one who spent money on Plymouth and forced the council to spend more money as well.
Was this
to
involved
these
in the
defences.
Civil War?
No, like I said before, Drake's Island, because of Drake's Island, we controlled Drake's Island, we controlled the town really, and the foreshore. There was never any serious threat to Plymouth from the sea ever, never. There was stories that we were blockaded and we were near starvation at one stage until a shoal of pilchards came in. That's just a story. We were never under the threat of starvation in this town.
Of course, the fact is that Plymouth could be fed by the sea, couldn't it?
Of course, and Parliament controlled the Navy. If you look at the accounts, there's always ships coming in. Sometimes they're late. They bring in money for the soldiers, they bring in reinforcements, they bring ammunition, and they bring food and water. Because we had the Leet supplying Plymouth, but because the Royalists, when the Royalists came close to Plymouth, they blocked the Leet. They cut the Leet so we couldn't get fresh supplies. But we had the wells. We had Finn Well, St Catherine's Well, all the wells around Plymouth, in Plymouth, that could supply us with water, and ships brought in fresh supplies always.
So some of the blockhouses are Civil War?
Pre-Civil War. They're all pre-Civil War, Henry VIII period.
Some of them are not, in the sense that the one behind us isn't.
Henry VIII. All these blockhouses were.
Oh, Henry is pre-Civil War, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. They all went up before in the late 1530s. These were pre-built.
So everything we see here is either before the Civil War.
All before the Civil War. This is all before the Civil War. Yeah. So, like I said, it's to stop the threat from Spain and France.
So had Henry VIII not constructed these, they would have had to have been built anyway?
Yeah, something would have been built. There was bulwarks here before, small fortifications and guns, but and we started to build the Plymouth Fort in the 1590s, early 1590s. Robert Adams came down from London to look at Plymouth's defences, and he said we needed a fort on the southeast corner of the Hoe, and that's where it was built.
So back in the day, the citadel here would go down virtually on the rocks, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you couldn't walk along this road. It was a military road.
Here as such, was it?
No. But this citadel was built in the 1660s, so the Plymouth Fort. After the Civil War.
It gets confusing.
It does, yeah.
So let's just explain that to people.
Okay.
The citadel came after the Civil War.
Blockhouses first. The original Plymouth Fort, 1592 to 96, and then the Citadel, late 1660s, under Charles II.
So just so we will know, the Citadel did not play any part in the Civil War.
No.
Because it wasn't here.
No.
So what we have would be an open space until we came to the castle, which is somewhere behind there now, isn't it?
No, not before 1590s. The Civil War, the fort was here. Plymouth Fort was here in the Civil War.
But not the Citadel?
No, but it's on the ground if you look at this map.
It's on more or less the same spot?
Yes.
Got you.
And it did come down to the foreshore. You couldn't walk along here in those days unless you were a soldier.
You said that there was a wooden palisade.
There was wooden palisades that were built along here.
Could you tell us what that would be, please?
Just wooden boards to protect guns, hammered into the ground.
Earth behind them, maybe, perhaps?
No, more stone because there's no earth up here.
There's no
It's
earth,
all
is there?
No, it's all stonework.
There's no earth at all?
No, they would have just built little forts, if you like. A line of forts, a stockade.
Stockade.
A stockade with guns, because it's not stone, whereas the Plymouth Fort was stone.
Can you just shine that at it, show us that, please?
This is Plymouth Fort,
Yeah.
and this is the outer.
Can you
edge.
point where we are?
We are here. Roughly
there.
here.
We are there.
Yes, Henry VIII Tower. So we're roughly here. So if you look behind, none of this was here. So we'll talk about that a bit more around the corner where you can see some of the original wall of the original fort, Plymouth Fort.
Thank you very much, Phil. Thank
Sorry,
you.
Steve.